Welcome back. So not on the best of notes, I did have a loved one pass recently, devastated me. And so I really wanted to share the stories, putting documents together for house sale, your beneficiaries, what documents you need, and give you a scoop of what you need to do. And I just did this the last couple of weeks. So basically, you want to ensure a smooth property transfer to your beneficiaries. I'm going to give you some steps to simplify the estate management and avoid probate. So when a loved one passes away, obviously the emotional impact is intense, it sucks, it's horrible, and planning ahead can alleviate some of this burden by making sure that your property, particularly real estate, is smoothly transferred to your intended beneficiaries with minimal cost, minimal complications. So here's how you can prepare effectively. One, you want to organize your essential legal documents, your will, your trust. Keep your last will and testament or living trust up to date. I'm going to probably do this on an annual basis. These documents will specify how your assets are being distributed after your passing. The recommendation, well, for me anyways, to save on legal fees, consider using the software that I got. It's Nolo, the Quicken Will Maker and Trust 2024, or whatever the latest version is. I got it for about $110 on Amazon. Provides templates for like wills, trusts, healthcare, directives, powers of attorney, and it gave me some user-friendly prompts that guide you through each step. So that's how I did it. Number two, you want to use a transfer on death deed for real estate. So in real estate, and not all states allow this, Kansas does, you can do a transfer on death deed, and that allows you to name a beneficiary so you can avoid probate. For example, I recently used the Nolo software to fill out notarized 2 transfer on death deeds. After I got it notarized at the title company at my office, I took them down to the Sedgwick County office, paid $21 per page. Then I came home, I scanned the documents, shared copies with my executor and beneficiary for their records. I believe I printed it and put it in my binder. Number 3, organize your estate planning documents. And in binder, collect all your essential documents, your will, trust, transfer on death deeds with the notarized sticker on it, and your other estate planning papers. I did a binder to make it nice and easy to have one at home. Also, I had digital copies where I scanned and shared them. I kept them for myself as well online and shared with my executor and key family members. So just make sure that you've got it, they've got it, they're accessible, they're secure. Make it easier. Again, seamless transitions. 4, you want to avoid probate. So probate can be time consuming and expensive. We want to, of course, keep all the money in our pocket. So clearly identifying beneficiaries and using tools like transfer on death deeds, can help you bypass and minimize the probate. Simplify it and speed up your asset transfers. I also will say, although I did it on my own at this point, I consult with professionals. Even if you handle most of the planning yourself, consult with an estate planning attorney. They can provide you reassurance and ensure all legal requirements are met. I have a brother that's been doing this stuff for 20 years, so he just kind of helped me along. Number 5, stay informed and updated. You want to do an annual review. I do my taxes on an annual basis, so I figured I'm going to throw this into that mix at the beginning of the year because estate planning laws, personal circumstances can change. So regularly review and update your documents to keep them current and effective. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about just understanding the transfer on death deed. Some of this will be a little repetitive, but in case you've never heard of this before, a transfer on death deed is a legal instrument that lets you designate, as we've discussed, a beneficiary for your real estate, like your home, your rental properties. It enables a direct transfer upon your death without going through probate. That's the huge part. Here's a detailed look at its benefits. It's a deed that allows property owners to transfer real estate ownership to, again, whoever you are designating as your beneficiary. It is effective immediately upon the owner's death, thus avoiding probate. And so in real estate, we work with a lot of probate people when we're selling houses, so that's a huge thing. A transfer on death deed does remain revocable during the owner's lifetime. The owner retains full control over their property, including the right to sell, mortgage it, with the transfer occurring only upon their death. So how does this work? Obviously, property owner drafts the transfer on death deed. Like I said, you can go to Amazon and get that or other online versions, documents, naming pick your beneficiary who will inherit the property. The transfer on death deed must be signed, must be notarized, a title company, your local bank, according to state regulations. The recording then must be filed with the county recorder's office to be valid. So once it's recorded, it becomes a legally recognized document, so that is what you want. For example, after recording, I placed the stamped version that they gave me back that shows that it was recorded, and I put that in my binder, and I scanned and sent it to my executor and beneficiary. Well, in my case, the executor. Ownership transfer upon the owner's death, so the property, as we mentioned, automatically transfers to the named beneficiary without probate. Now, here's the thing, is the beneficiary must provide a death certificate to the county to finalize the transfer. We need that in real estate as well. We have to get death certificates for someone the ability to sell a house. But yeah, so the great part, again, yeah, you want to avoid probate at all costs. One is you just save money. You don't want to spend more money for something you don't need to, as long as you do this in advance. And the owner, again, it can't be revoked before death. You have full control still over the property during your lifetime as the owner. And then recording a transfer on death deed involves minimal paperwork and it's lower cost compared to setting up a trust. So considerations for transfer on death deed. Now, here's the thing, is it is not available in all states. So I'm fortunate we do have it here in Kansas. We also have, I could name a beneficiary in my car. I guess not all states have that either. Where at the tag office when I bought my last car, they asked me, who do you want your beneficiary to do? So I was able to do that. Potential conflicts, transfer on death deeds may not shield the beneficiary from disputes or claims against the property. So it's not this perfect thing, but it does help in a lot of regards. Ensure the beneficiary knows about the transfer on death deed and what their responsibilities are upon inheriting the property. Basically, they're going to need to get your death certificate. So the impact on the estate, you want to assess how the transfer on deed integrates with your overall estate plan to ensure alignment with all of your intentions. So make sure they're coinciding with the will. And steps to create and file a transfer on death deed, like I mentioned, you want to obtain a form. Use the state-specific transfer on death deed form available online, or like I had mentioned, through legal software like Nolo Quicken Willmaker. Complete the deed, fill out the obvious, the necessary information. At that point, you got to obviously figure out who your beneficiaries are going to be in the property description. Just pull the legal description from the taxes. You want to sign and notarize in front of a notary public, and again, record the deed at the county recorder's office. Pay any required recording fees. Notify the beneficiary and inform the beneficiary about their designation and provide copies of the deed. That pretty much gives you the transfer on death deed. And so not the fun stuff about real estate, but it's really good to be ahead of the game so you are prepared when somebody dies, or if you're passing it along to a beneficiary, to get all your ducks in a row to make it as easier on your family and loved ones. Again, avoiding probate is always a great thing. If you have any questions on this, my contact information is in the description of every video I do. Happy to answer any questions on this, how I did it, what I did. And as always, I appreciate you for watching, and feel free to like and subscribe if you want to see more information like this. Thanks for watching. Happy house hunting.